And then I said to them, if you don't rewind this tape right now, I'm gonna...
Hi. Hi guys, welcome to Wait, Rewind the Tape. This is your favourite podcast where we never stick to the same formula week after week. Because boy, we've got something different for you this week, true to form. Yay!
I was going to clap. Yeah!
Yay! Clapping. So today you've got me, Natalie.
And me, Ruth.
And
our
also
very, very special guest.
Yes, hi.
Sim, our special guest Sim. Yeah.
Yes, me, Simone. Hi.
AKA Mystik Bones.
AKA Mystik Bones, AKA, yes, this is my favourite podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
AKA one of our
only fan.
AKA the super fan, or the stands.
And how could we not have our stan on, especially when she is so gifted?
Yes,
okay, so
we
I feel
are
like
also stands of her, so it's like
we are probably bigger stands of her.
Way bigger.
Also, Sim, you deserve our standship.
Yeah,
we
don't
do not.
Don't
we do not. We are not worthy.
Equal energy exchange. Equal energy exchange.
Should we let's first tell the listeners what we're going to be doing today and what Sim, what you do, what you're all about.
Sure.
So what we go on.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I thought you were going to speak and say like
no,
what you're going to be doing.
I mean, we can introduce you.
You know what? This is hilarious. This is like full on Mercury retrograde, technology fucker, miscommunication. This is like literally.
Yeah, let's just start right there. So Mercury went into retrograde, what was it, on the 29th?
On the 29th of May.
29th,
yes.
yeah. So that explains why I've probably been feeling a bit weepy, and probably while I'll continue to feel weepy on this call, because Sim is a how would you describe yourself? As a priestess?
Yeah, so I've recently been, that horrible question, what do you do? And I'm like, what do I do? So I've recently just been describing myself to others. I say I do psychic readings and I'm a priestess, which means I've been initiated into specific lineages and mystery schools. It's all very esoteric and funky and fun. And then aside from that, like the foundation of everything that I do is teaching yoga. So just an eclectic witch, we love to say.
Yeah, and I can vouch for a lot of your things, actually. Yoga, I've done a yoga class with you. It was amazing. It's last year at the beginning of lockdown. I've had Sim is probably the only person that I'd really go to and trust with my kind of readings, my tarot readings, because they are always on point. And yes, I do always cry. I can feel myself tearing up already. But it's fine. I'm fine. And also full moon ceremonies, amazing. So that's why we had to have Sim on at the start of Mercury going into retrograde. We had to have Sim here. And if you guys are into this kind of thing or curious about it, I highly recommend you following Sim and looking into some of the services and products on offer.
I almost completely forgot that bit. Thank you so much for those amazingly kind words, Natalie. That's lovely. But I almost literally completely forgot the fact that I'm out here making like spiritual tools and stuff as well.
Yeah.
That's a new path of my priestesshood, actually, which is amazing because it's so linked to what my inner child wanted to do, like what my childhood self wanted to do. I always saw myself growing up and just like living in a cabin on the beach, and it would be a shop with all these like crystals and spiritual oils and tarot cards, and there'd be a place in the back where I could like do my healings and my readings, and it's like the fantasy is becoming reality. And I'm just, it's just really, really great. I'm really grateful just to the way this path is aligned, and also super grateful for beautiful souls like you two for just being so supportive of my ventures and trusting me, and yeah, just being like really there, like ride or die is lovely. So thank you.
Literally ride the Thorpe Park ride, or don't you?
Yeah, that horrible one that we did first, whatever the hell that was. The swarm.
I don't even know. Yeah, just for context, guys, last summer, we went to Thorpe Park to celebrate Sim's birthday, and it was super fun and also terrifying. Would we do it again? Yes.
Oh, definitely. Definitely
laughs in the face of danger. She doesn't even get scared on roller coasters. And there's like pictures, you know, the picture they give you at the end of the ride, where me and Sim are screaming and Natalie is smiling.
Or looking like classic like Indian family portrait. Like you just sit, you don't smile, and you're like.
That was such a fun day.
Okay, before we get into our readings, just because this is obviously for first and foremost a show where we talk about the stuff that we watch. Once upon a time for me. So what's everyone been watching? I'll go first. I'm on season 6 of Once Upon a Time, which
That's
means
terrifying.
No, that is terrifying, because in the short space of it can't be more than like 2-3 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. So that means that I've watched over 50, maybe 60 hours worth of Once Upon a Time.
Wow.
Yeah,
It is really easy to watch. I've started watching it. It's not
like that. I don't think I got to season 6. I can't remember where I got to on
season
that.
7.
Yeah, wow. It is a good show. So I don't blame you. Very easy to.
We do have to talk about some of the questionable acting.
No, the acting's awful across the board. We all know that. We're not watching it for the acting. It's like saying you watch Game of Thrones for the accents. You don't.
Another terrible show. That I invested so much into.
That, like, from your heart of hearts, can you really honestly say Game of Thrones is a terrible show? Because it's like,
honestly, it's a terrible show.
Wow.
I love Game of Thrones. I've spent so long watching it, but it's one of those things where it's just like at the end I was like, this is so bad, it's making me think it was all bad. And now I'm just like, why? It's not that it was all bad, it was great. But it's the twists and the turns that keep you in suspense. Once you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's no subtlety that you're
like, why am I here? Yeah.
But then you forget. I don't remember anything that happened.
Yeah, and some characters do surprise me. That's true. And guys, my favourite show is Once Upon a Time at the moment. So like, take my opinions with a pinch of salt. I'm clearly not
qualified to give any kind of
I am not a TV
analysis.
critic. Okay. Sim, what are you watching?
So I most recently finished rewatching Lost. When
okay,
I was very vocal about watching Lost, like while it was happening. Wow, what a show! I mean, similar energy to Game of Thrones though, because it's like I felt like the first 3 seasons were very like epic and very. Yeah, just really hooked me in, and I was like so excited. But then all this other stuff started happening that I was just like, but you haven't even answered the questions that got brought up in season 1 to 3, and now you're presenting me with new questions. But I'm too far deep invested to turn back now. So what do I do? Finish the season, and then the ending was just like, okay. So all of that. To just say this, I was like, I don't want to like obviously say what happens in case anybody hasn't seen it and they're like, I'm gonna go watch that. Probably after the way I'm describing it.
Please let me tell you that this show is known for its spoilers, so don't worry about spoilers.
That is a fact, but still I don't want to be that girl. Like,
fine. You know, say spoiler alert, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like basically spoiler alert, they're all dead. So
I haven't seen it. What the hell?
Oh my god, it didn't. Oh, that's as bad. That's almost as bad as it was all a dream.
That's an ending.
It's different though. It's not like the whole time they were dead. They were like, they got there and then they died on the islands. But then when you see them in like season 4, 5, 6, they are actually already dead. And everything that is happening is kind of, it's actually, you know what? I do love it because it's interesting. It brings up some interesting sort of like life questions, because everything that happens after a certain amount of time is all happening in sort of like the collective consciousness of their collective spirits. So yeah, it's just like, it's interesting like that.
But it's also bad writing because it wasn't, was it? They just added it on at the end. And now they're like, but
I feel like that wasn't how they intended for the show to go, but it just ended up being that way because they just, too many questions. And then I've recently watched this movie called They Live, which Ruth knows about, and I definitely feel like you two should watch it for the podcast because it's so interesting.
I've added it to the list.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything about other than
as long as it's not a scary movie.
It's a full-on documentary. It's not a scary movie. It's like full-on, this is how we are living. This is what is going on in society. I forgot the name of the director, but he's done, he did Halloween.
Never seen it.
You know the scary movie Halloween? He did that.
Is it the one with the mask?
Jason, yeah.
John Myers.
Yeah.
Not Jason, sorry. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's Jason with the hockey stick.
Yeah,
that is Jason with the hockey stick, but Halloween dude is just the one with the white mask.
Yeah.
My bad.
Estranged kid.
I thought they were the same person.
No, they're similar attributes.
Can I ask a question about Lost? Is Emily de Raven, aka Belle, aka the blonde
the worst actress?
Is she as bad acting in Lost as she is in Once Upon a Time? Because she's shit in Once Upon a Time.
I didn't notice the first time.
I feel like it's her character in Lost that made me so irritated by her. You know, when you're really invested in a program or a movie and you want people to be doing well, like you just want to see them living up to their fullest potential, and they're not doing that, and they're making too much noise about when they should be quiet, things like that. That's very her.
It's very Belle as well.
I think her character, it's a fault of the writing for her character, the way that she's portrayed in Lost. I actually preferred her acting in Once Upon a Time, so wow. That's enough.
Listen, again, I am not a TV critic. I know nothing about acting. Take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Definitely. Yeah. So Lost and They Live. Apart from that, I think just like the standard, you know, EastEnders, First Date, Google Box. Just mindless stuff.
Love EastEnders.
Yeah. Love a bit of EastEnders. Yeah.
Should we get into it?
Yeah. Do you want to get into the
our readings? Yeah.
So I've already done my prayers for this reading and everything, and like called in the energies.
Is that how you would start with every reading?
That is how I usually start with every reading. And like, if you remember when I've done it like live one-on-one with either of you, I always like do it here. But for the sake of the podcast, I'm becoming, interestingly, like, actually since Mercury went retrograde, I've become really almost like militant about like what I share. So if I was doing like because this is going to be so personal to you too, and there's going to be people listening, watching, whatever, there was a part of me that I didn't really feel comfortable with doing the prayer like so openly. But if it was like a general reading that I was going to put on my Instagram or something, then of course, because that's like a collective prayer for everyone. But for this specific one, I just wanted to do it like behind the scenes. So yeah, that is generally like how I start. I always like to meditate before as well, and just like my candles, get a little vibe going on, ring some bells and stuff like that as well.
Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. I feel really, really honored and privileged to be here doing this. It's really special. So how do you want to do this? Like, do you want the both of you? Do you want separate? Do you want
I don't mind separate. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I've got some questions.
That's cool. And did you want just like a general vibe check? Maybe for like June, or just maybe like
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, especially coming out of on the 21st, like when things are opening up and we're going to be maybe seeing people again, meeting people again, dating again, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I never dated in the first place, so who knows? But maybe that's like...
That could be in the cards, Nats.
Could be, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll just do like a general vibe check for like June, sort of look at general energies in the month. What maybe Mercury retrograde can offer you, what it can teach you, what maybe you need to learn from it, how you can integrate that lesson, and then I'll do sort of like where, you know, I'm going to go with the flow. The flow.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Ruth?
Oh, I thought we were doing it together now. Am I being dumb?
No,
I thought we were doing separately.
Okay, my bad. Wow.
Separate, but like general June vibe checks. But you've got some questions, so I feel like you should go first.
So ridiculous. Like, I feel like you're like, how are you going to get that? I have. Oh my god. You know, I never ask questions because I'm embarrassed about my questions.
No, don't be embarrassed.
But I need to pick a piece of artwork for a song and I can't do it. So I would like some help with that.
Okay.
What artwork should I pick?
Okay. Sure.
Just general.
Just some clarity on your. Okay, so how about for you then, Ruth? I'll do the reading sort of about just what clarity and what wisdom spirit can offer you about your upcoming projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe the artwork might even be on the card. Who knows? Okay, so I'll just do a quick little. Okay, spirit guides, guardians, connect me to the highest self of Ruth. Okay, wanting some clarity and some advice for her upcoming music and her projects. Please make all these messages come through with clarity, wisdom and love for her highest good. Okay. Okay. What's the general energy surrounding this choice for Ruth? Thank you. Right. What is blocking her decision? Wow. Okay, that's 3 cards, but I'm just going to see what they are because I'm interested, but I'm not going to. Yeah, no. I don't like it when there's like more than one card, you know, for like a specific question sometimes. If it's like 2, but like any more than 2, sometimes it's like unclear and I need more clarity, please. So what is blocking her decision? What is crossing her path? What is blocking her decision? It's crossing her path. Thank you. Okay. What's her conscious choice in this situation? What is her conscious choice about this project? Okay. That's 2. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Wow, cool. Let me just get one more card and then I'll just take you through the journey of what we've got so far and then I'll probably pull some more.
Okay.
What is at the root of this? What is her, I was about to say what's her gut saying and the card came out. Okay. All right. So at the general sort of vibe of this decision about your artwork, about your project, you have the Wheel of Fortune, right? Which is awesome because this is just one of the greatest omens you could possibly get about like success and fortune coming to you. So that's the general energy just surrounding your project period, which is wonderful news to have. The artwork's super cool if you want to take a look at it. But also I want to say whenever the Wheel of Fortune appears in a reading, it is the queerer's will that turns the wheel. Okay. So sometimes it's not, yes, definitely like you co-create with spirit to manifest and like bridge your dreams into reality, but also spirit sometimes is like, you have free will and we need to see your dedication and we need to see your commitment to this. So that's the energy that I'm coming from. This card is really interesting because at the bottom of the card, you have this like sort of divine archetypal feminine energy, almost underwater. And at the top, you have this godlike divine masculine energy, both where the Wheel of Fortune is in the middle, right? Which to me in this card is you. This is also to me sort of talking about how you can bring, very similar to the full moon Sagittarius reading that I did, like how you can bring balance between both of those aspects within yourself to create something really, really magical. And where you're also allowing one to sort of like not outshine, but are you allowing both of those energies to coexist to like produce the most successful outcome? So for this being the general energies, is the Wheel of Fortune to me is today is saying to you to have equal parts like prayer, affirmation, all of that good stuff to like produce this thing, and equal parts like it's me, like I have to do this. I can't just like rely on spirit to do everything for me, because like actually I'm the one who's going to physically turn this wheel in my favor, right? If that makes sense. And then what was crossing your path, what was like blocking your decision making? So I'm literally sitting on a clear quartz.
Oh my God. To the listeners, it was much bigger than I expected. That's
it was just becoming a bit uncomfortable because where it was placed. What was crossing your path was the Ten of Swords, which is in this deck called the Lord of Ruin. So don't worry, like this is all mental. This to me is talking about like where your own fears have come to stab you in the back. I'm hearing like perfectionism as well. So I feel for the listeners, Ruth just put her hand over her mouth and gasped.
Who, me? Yes,
yeah,
you.
I'm hearing how that can like get in your way and cause yourself ruin. You then like put these 10 swords in your back, and by that point you've just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost paralyzed yourself from moving forward. Yeah. So you need to allow your mind to become a bit more flexible. I feel like the good thing about this card is that it's the 10 and it's the sign. Whenever I see 10, I'm like, this is completion now. So no more, you cannot ruin yourself anymore. You cannot cause any more damage to yourself about this particular project. Yeah. There's a lot of like past energy coming from this, like, and coming through for some reason. There's a lot of like, feels like maybe like old wounds or like old narratives that you may have created about your art, your music and your projects resurfacing. That's fine. Like that is natural to happen. It's Mercury retrograde. So where this is crossing the Wheel of Fortune, this is also like about that cycle of things repeating themselves and coming back around. Are you going to like do the same thing? Are you gonna listen to your spirit, to your intuition, allow yourself to move forward with this energy and just like see where the pattern has happened and let it go? Or are you gonna are you gonna take the swords out your back, or are you gonna just lie there with them in your back? Blunt but true.
What are you gonna do?
Okay.
I'm gonna take them out my back.
Take them out your back, girlfriend. And I know that you will, because your conscious decision about this project, about your artwork, and about all of this. So you have the your conscious choices, your conscious mind, your crown is the Ace of Stones, and then also the 10 of Wands. So I see you here like as the eagle in this card. So the description, image description is like a desert with this huge stone being pushed forward by an eagle from the sky. That's how I see you. And that's how I see like your higher self wanting to make this decision. But then this card of oppression, right, this is the Mercury retrograde lesson here, right? This is like these hyenas in the image that are behind the wands are almost like your demons coming to surface to like try and oppress you. You are moving forward though at your conscious, I feel that you are like moving forward, and you need to also give yourself credit for that. Bring that to your consciousness, like bring that to the forefront of your consciousness, that like I'm actually moving forward. I am moving forward. Like even though these demons might be surfacing, trying to oppress me, trying to cause me ruin, it's okay. Like I know how to navigate this now. Like I just need to connect to my higher self. I just need to reconnect to my wholesomeness and remember that I am moving forward. And I also see this, that a lot of, I mean, let me know if this resonates, but like a lot of almost like divine inspiration is coming through. Like,
for sure. Do you want to know something semi crazy? So you know how it's an eagle moving a stone, and everyone's going to be like, you'll just do the most. But you know, eagles, that's like this. They call Nigerians like the Nigerian eagles. Spoiler alert, I'm Nigerian. And stone. So then what I actually call my company that I operate under means stone in my language. What? So it's just like, so that was like, what the hell? And it does feel like I'm generally like shifting things. And I have, I never share stuff like this, so I feel like a bit silly. But I have something that I wrote down to see like what I wanted for myself. And I said, when I'm creating things, I don't just want to create like beautiful things. I want them to like shift things for people, either emotionally or like spiritually. So that's a really amazing card to come out.
That's really impactful. Yeah, I do see like, well, you'll see for yourself in the next card, like at the root. But yeah, I definitely am getting that energy from this card in particular. And yeah, I definitely feel like this is the card directly from your higher self, like just to remind you of that, and to remind you to just move that energy to the front, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely feel the divine inspiration coming down, and when you follow that, like you will lead yourself forward into incredible things.
Amen, honey.
Amen, ashe. And I also feel like that from you just saying that, that's it, like what your artwork should be. If you were questioning whether it should be sort of connected to your heritage and connected to the art and the spirituality of your heritage, with all the intention that you've just shared with us, that to me it feels like is the right path for you to go. At the root of this decision is the 10 of Cups, the Lord of Success. Awesome. So you obviously, everyone wants what they put out in the world be successful. This is another really, really beautiful. Yes, tens across the board.
Tens across the board.
You've got tens. You've got 3 out of 4 tens here, which is amazing. Tens across the board, Ruth. So yeah, any fear in your root chakra that is like, this message has come for you before. It is literally, I just got deja vu. I just got deja vu so hard. I
am a little hard of hearing, so
selective hearing. Sometimes me too, sis. Don't worry. But any fear around your success. So sometimes I do this. I feel like so many people do this. Like, we're so conditioned and programmed to be afraid of our limitless potential, and we're so programmed to not believe in ourselves that when we start deprogramming this funny little thing up here, we're like, oh my God, I actually could be successful. I actually could like build the life of my dreams. I could actually be happy and joyful. And that's scary, terrifying, because if you don't know what that looks like, and used to experiencing that, it's the unknown to you. And that is where fear is. You have to push past that though, because it's coming, and it's your birthright also to deserve that. So spirit,
it's not better the devil you know.
No, it's not. And spirit has a funny way of doing things. Like for me in particular, I feel sometimes like if I allow myself to go down a little like, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this route, my ass will get dragged. And I've read enough for you, Ruth, that I know your spirit guides don't mess about. They don't mess about when it comes to you. So
when you say you'll get dragged, your ass will get dragged, in what way? How does that
so
how do you know?
I know because like
if you don't mind me asking.
No, not at all. So where some things are very, very internal, that like you know you're being initiated because you're having all this stuff surface that you are very it's there. It's like you can see it within yourself and you're like, I have no choice but to heal through this. I have to confront this. Mm-hmm. It can be very internal in that way. So it can be a dragging like that, you know, a little internal tower moment, or it can be a very external thing. So something like physically, like outside of me, has to go through a process of transformation. Like I might lose something, or I have to let something go because it's not serving me. Mm-hmm. There are the part of me that was trying to hold on to it was holding on to it out of fear of being worthy of the better thing that was coming. Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah 100%.
Yeah.
So spirit's like, no, sorry, we've been waiting around for you too long. Drag, you're going to the next level, right? And that's all of that to say that I feel like this is coming through with this energy here. So you need to be relayed that message. I feel like I've definitely heard this message for you before. You are worthy of your success. And also just like practice what you preach about being successful. And when I say success, it's not all like monetary gain, it's not all like financial. It's like, how do you see yourself when this project is completed? Like emotionally, how will it feel for you to have reached this point of completion and feel successful in everything that you've done, and enjoy the reward of everything that you've created, and actually allow yourself to enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's your root. And then I want to get just like maybe one more card for message from your higher self moving forward on this project. What's the message from Ruth's higher self moving forward on this project, please, spirit guides? What's the message from Ruth's higher self moving forward on this project, please? It's like, I already told you everything I needed to say. What's the message from what's the word of advice? No. Let's see where what can Ruth Mercury retrograde go away? Clarity. Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask how you can put into practice the message that's come through. Okay, how can Ruth put into practice the wisdom that has come through from her higher self today? How can Ruth practically and physically put into practice the message that has come through from her higher self today? Stubborn. Yeah. What can Ruth practically and physically do? Thank you. Okay, this is really interesting because let me get two more. What can Ruth emotionally do? Thank you. And in what ways can Ruth align spiritually with the wisdom that has come through today? Thank you. Okay. So, the card that came out first, I asked about like your physical like physical practicality. It's an emotional card. It's the Son of Cups, the Prince of Cups, reverse. So if this is too personal, and obviously like podcasts and that, don't worry, but like, have you been like holding space for yourself to release and let go of feelings of like jealousy and comparison that might be like holding you back?
That's interesting. So a few weeks ago, I was getting irrational jealousy, and I was saying this to Natalie, and it wasn't anybody I knew or anything. It would be like a far off stranger. So I started keeping a jealousy diary, and I stopped going on social media, and it helped. It really helped. But over the last like few days, maybe 2 weeks, I've started to go on a bit more, and I'm not getting it's not jealousy anymore, but it's definitely like a little bit of comparison. And also like I do physically compare, because I do get into the whole perfectionist thing. So no matter what I'm doing, I do physically compare stuff lately, like sound wise. I want to hear how things sound next to other things. I just want to hear everything's like quote unquote perfect. So definitely some comparison.
Wow.
But jealousy has, I'd say that, but it was, I've never felt such, I would say, irrational jealousy since I was like, you know, when you're a teenager, like that kind of feeling. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So if you maybe have put a pause on like using that diary, it's time to like pick that back up again. Because if you found that it was serving you, I think that's like one practical thing that you can do towards like integrating this lesson and this wisdom from this message. And yeah, taking time off social media if that's what you need to do. Like, just when you watch They Live, you will understand even more. Just like, it's such a, the programming is real.
It is.
It's so real. And where it becomes like irrational in your emotional body is because like we spend so much time like looking at this and we don't even realize like how much of our subconscious is going imposter, but like all those little whispers that are coming up, right? But yeah, I think that's a really, really amazing thing to do with a jealousy diary. And even just like just writing down to release. I really believe that when you speak to someone you feel safe with, or you write down, or you even pray about anything that is like you feel your higher self is talking to you, like this is holding you back, it's not part of you. Once you get it out there, once you've written it down, once you've like spoken it out of you, it's not part of your system anymore. And the more that you do that, the better you honestly feel. Like so many, I swear, even like scientists will say that it's like a genuine thing. It helps people. So that's the practical thing that you can do. And I'm really happy to hear that you've already been doing that. So the emotional thing, wow, okay, so interesting, cool. So the emotional thing that you can do, you have the Father of Cups, you have the King of Cups. So moving forward from the Prince in reverse to the King, to talk about your emotions, that's really interesting. So emotionally, how you can connect to the wisdom that's come through today. To me, this feels like I don't know why, but there's like a slight like aggressive energy to this card. I don't know why. It's based off Odin. So I don't know if like my little Marvel fan brain is coming into this or but emotionally, wow, I feel like I feel like there's like a different kind of nurturing that you can get from sort of archetypal masculine energy, right? It's like a different kind of nurturing. It feels like protective. So I feel like emotionally, this is talking about like things that you may need to do to feel like you are like safe and held and protected when you become emotional. Start doing that for yourself, and then obviously when you start doing that for yourself, it attracts other people who can like hold that space with you. But if you've been feeling like unsafe to be with your own like emotions, or like you don't know how to, what's coming through, it's like, no, it's almost like protecting yourself from being emotional. I don't know if that is the vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Very.
Yeah. Protecting yourself from being emotional, but actually it's like allowing yourself to be free in your emotions is going to protect you more in the long run, if that makes sense. Like, it's going to protect you. It serves you better to like be authentic in your emotional experiences than hide. And I feel like that's why there's this like aggressive energy coming from this card right now, because it's just like, it's almost like there's just like some huge release coming. And listen, like, if it does come out in like, if the release has happened, if it's due, just allow yourself to be present with it. If it comes out in, everyone is like guilty of this at different points in their lives, comes out in a way that might not be in alignment with your peace or like other people's peace, or it might not be in alignment with your the way you're building integrity for yourself, right? Like trying to release anger and trying to release like fear and all these things. If it comes out in that way and it's ugly, like sometimes it just has to be that way. But you need to also learn how to navigate forgiveness for yourself in the way that you react and respond when you're triggered.
Yeah.
So that is, there's like some heart chakra thing going on. Wear green, I would say. Wear lots of green, like be out in nature more. Just allow yourself to like surrender to whatever. Because that is related to your music, I feel, in the way that you have this really pure intention and this really like high intention to make an impact and like shift people's way of like thinking or believing or whatever. Like, you just have this intention to shift and transform and create a really like impactful effect on your listeners. Is there a part of you that is actually holding back on being raw emotional in your music?
100%, because this conversation has gone so much bigger than like what.
It always happens this way with me though. Like, it always goes like, we're gonna talk about it's
actually like super recent. So like the kind of songs that are coming through now, because obviously I have a plan for like my next, this isn't what I'm the short-term release, but like the long-term release I've been working on. I have like a plan, I'm trying to stick to it. Some of the things that are coming through for me, like the kind of songs, because I think the kind of conversations I've been having are more about like just how difficult periods like from when I was younger have affected me now. And I just like, oh my God, I'm not about to cry on this podcast. One sec. I just don't really want to include that. And I'm not sure if I will, and I'm not sure but it's to the point where normally, no matter what comes through, I record it at least. I don't even want to record it. I'm just like ignoring them because I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't want to be like that vulnerable in front of people.
Of course.
Yeah. Even though I have 3 people who listen, but still, I don't want them to see either.
Definitely have more than 3 listeners. You definitely have more than 3 listeners. Stop that. But like, I hear what you're saying, and I thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
I understand this card so much more now. You're protecting your vulnerability, absolutely. You don't have to release those songs, but even if you just made them for yourself, I feel like, you know, you could just, sometimes we have to hold the intention that we hold to like put out and gift and offer to everyone else. We have to give it to ourselves first. Yeah. Even if you made that music for yourself just to listen back to, it could be potentially so healing for you.
Yeah, sure.
Do you remember this is what I said last week? That the first thing is just making it. Decide what you want to do with it afterwards. You don't have to do anything with it.
It doesn't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. She's so right. And, you know, maybe that's where your inner child will feel protected just from hearing that back. And like the understanding that both of you, like you and your inner child, working together to transmute this like painful thing, this aggressive, painful thing into something really, really beautiful for yourself. And you then allowing yourself to have that shift and that transformation through your own art. I understand this card so much more now. And I think that is like the message. So like, there is a way of nurturing and protecting your emotions and your inner child through your art that I feel like you should definitely explore, because I feel like there's profound healing to come here. Also like the bottom of Odin's legs in this picture are like tree stumps. So I feel like it could something to me that's just the energy of like the tree stumps, something that is like very wise, can grow, you know, like takes roots, grow down, and it can bring you such a level of grounding potentially too, even though it's a water card. So yeah, definitely like hold space for yourself to explore that when and if you're ready, because of course there's like no rush, like time is limitless, but you know, you just listen to your intuition in that way. The last card is fantastic. I'm so happy to see this here for you. Oh my gosh. So how you are going to spiritually receive, integrate, align with the wisdom of this reading is the Empress, Ruth.
Yeah.
Come on. That is it. That's everything you need. That is everything you need. So remembering, and what I said at the beginning about like your bridging your divine masculine and divine feminine energy, isn't that so interesting? So at the end of this reading, how you spiritually align with the wisdom of this message is to connect to that archetypal divine feminine within you, and where your emotional body needs nurturing is like that divine masculine type energy, and then at the center of that is your wheel of fortune. That's mad. So yeah, this Empress being here, the Empress is definitely a very, very spiritual card, especially with this one. There's like a breakthrough. There's like a door opening behind her and all this light just like flooding into it. This is somebody who allows themselves to just move very, very intuitively in the flow of the abundance of the divine, the abundance of the earth. Like, I think I did say like get out in nature for your heart chakra healing as well. That's where the Empress is, in nature, like everywhere. And understanding that the beauty and the abundance that we see reflected out in nature exists within you. Like you are part of that co-creation from the divine, like all that growth and all that abundance and that health and that well-being, that creation, that empowerment, all of that, just that it naturally exists by grand design, is also a part of you. And the Empress is an archetype that understands that fully, and therefore has basically life at her command. And it's just very magical, because just understanding that her will is something that can be so, it's literally just like, that's the only movement that is like, I can't even say the words. There's just the movement of just like, it's just very like, yeah, there's almost just like the creation that happens like through like orgasmic energy, like that is Empress vibes. So just like really tuning into like your, just like the archetype of the feminine in that way, to receive the wisdom. There's also this message here of there's a huge message of like prosperity here too, but also awakening. So this could be a message of like, through your music, it's quite possible that you may have like a spiritual breakthrough through this project that can like lead you into very like fruitful, wholesome beginnings with yourself, with the divine, with other human beings, with the world around you. Leading yourself through that door by your own power, by your own will. That's very amazing. Yes, girl. Lovely. Yeah, wow. How are you feeling? Oh, I didn't hear that. What did you say? I don't know why it went really quiet.
I might have to cut some of that out, but I was joking. Just because
Oh, okay, yeah.
A little misty-eyed, but yeah, that was really powerful. That was just, I just didn't expect it to take such a grand turn. Like at first I was like, oh yeah, and then I was like,
Ruth's like, so I've got which picture? Can I show the cards 2 different pictures? And they just pick which one. And then they're like, oh God, there's this bigger thing. Like, wait, what?
But I feel like your message like about how you should design the artwork definitely came through there. I'm feeling the eagle heritage vibes. I can barely hear you. I'm sorry. Mercury retrograde, honey.
It's my turn. I'm glad she told me because I wouldn't. Okay. I was just sorry. I know I hate when people touch their microphones. I was just saying that the everything is like that for the short-term release is super feminine, and like even though I know listeners watching this will be like, no, you're not, but I'm like super girly, but like it's just I don't usually portray that in anything I make. But that message just felt so much bigger than like working on like a project or something. It felt more like working on myself. Do you know what I mean? Especially because like, I'm doing too much again, but when you like grow up singing in church, like singing isn't for me. I know obviously if you're a professional musician, which I don't regard myself as, singing or making music is literally how you make your money, but for me like it's also like how I've also always processed emotion. So I feel like it's almost like a call to like go back to that. But yeah, it was really powerful for me and really nice, and thank you. I might have to take my glasses off because they're too heavy. Wow, I should have gone for the titanium. Who can afford it, honestly?
What did you get?
Regular metal, and not glare proof.
Miscellaneous metal.
Yeah, they're like, they give you a rash. I'm like, fine. How much is it?
Oh, wow.
That was
bless Ruth.
Thank you. I think
you are so welcome. My honor.
Actually, the most like, sorry, I can't believe I'm promoting McDonald's on the podcast, but yeah, I eat them.
Is that a metal straw?
Yeah.
You're drinking McDonald's with a metal straw. I like it.
The paper straws are crap.
No, they're awful. Bad for the environment too. So please let it not go on the record that I am for paper or plastic or disposable straws. I'm not. I just think it's funny that Reese got this like iridescent oil slick metal straw, this gorgeous metal straw coming out of a Mackie D's cup.
I think this is classic me, if anything. It's the two ends of my personality.
Brilliant. I love that.
That was so amazing. Wow.
Oh, my honor. You know what? It always does happen like that for me. Like sometimes I recently started working for this like online psychic reading thing.
Mm-hmm. What's that going?
It's interesting. It's okay. One thing I will say about it is that it's really, really encouraged me to believe in my gifts a lot more than I did before I started. That's not to say I didn't believe in my gifts before I started this particular job, but it's just made me see it's just a new perspective.
Because it's different, right, when you're doing readings for people that you kind of, so obviously we have a deeper connection and it's powerful in a different way, but it's part of that's also like, well, is it because I know you? But if people that you've never met are connecting with what you're saying, then it's like, oh wow, not that you couldn't trust your gift based on doing readings for us, but when it's people you really don't know and it's resonating with them, it's like, oh, okay, I've got something here.
I'm like, oh wow, okay, I'm actually like out here in these streets doing
I don't need to know the person or have a connection with them to be able to see these things.
Right, exactly. So on that end, it's like definitely like I do love that side of things, and it's helping me like transform my gifts. Also, it's helping me like find new ways of reading too. But then it's just interesting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is it video chat?
No, it's actually just instant messenger. So it's literally just like typing. And I think it's like the time space, because like obviously I've read for you both this reading as well. Like I wasn't expecting it to be that long, but it's just where spirit takes me, it takes me. Mm-hmm. And then where this thing, I might only have like 20 minutes with one person.
Right.
And as I'm typing, they might start asking me like 2 or 3 other questions, which means I then have to, it feels very time pressured. And that's something that I don't particularly like about it. But I'm kind of just using this as an opportunity to strengthen my skills, but also as an opportunity, it's just like a means to an end at the moment. Like I'm doing this to support like the shop and like other things that I'm doing. So it is good in that sense, and it's flexible, which I love. So yeah, I'm not like tied down to like a schedule that doesn't agree with me or anything.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah. So Natalie, are you feeling ready?
Yeah. So before we start, I just wanted to ask about your kind of your reading style, because obviously I think if any of our listeners who've been to have their tarot cards read, they're probably more familiar with what I feel is maybe more traditional. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe I'm just getting completely wrong. But that way where people will pull cards and lay them out in a kind of particular way, or you would pull the cards after they've shuffled, but you do it in a different way that I feel is quite unique to you, but maybe it's not. I'm not sure.
Oh, thank you. So I don't even really know how to answer that question.
Sorry, if it's rude, then please forgive me.
No, it's not rude. Don't be sorry. It's not rude. I think the way that tarot has transformed and evolved now is like is so far from like what it was when people first started reading tarot and used to sort of like go to like very like secret mystery woman who would like read your cards for you,
right?
And it would be, don't go here on this date because there's going to be a flood coming, like very like cryptic messaging. The way I read, I always channel messages that are for the highest good and for your highest path. So maybe that's also why sometimes the message is a lot more grand than maybe what your specific question might be. Like it will definitely be about your question, but you might get guidance and wisdom coming through that is just going to support your progression a lot more than just, I don't know, like saying, okay, I fancy this person, like when am I going to hear from them, or where am I going to meet them, or am I going to find
that question off? Oh god.
No. If you have that question, like obviously like I will try my best to answer it, but also also I just think the way that I read it's always going to be for like your highest goods. So and with having said that as well, I always like to put disclaimers, like especially with this new online psychic reading, like we have free will, like we're all born with it. So anything that comes through the reading is always like a potential or a possibility, because the future isn't set in stone, because we can change our course of path, like we can change the path at any point. And new pathways can be created. So it's always like potential. That's how I read. So I always like, I see the cards, like I know their traditional meaning, but I like to read them more intuitively. I like to listen to what like the guides are telling me. I like to listen to what any sort of like body signals that I get sometimes. It's very much an embodied practice of divination for me, like connecting with tarot. And you do like you shuffle cards and and they kind of fall out, and that's how they come to you, as opposed to like somebody, you'll take one off the top and lay it in like that. Yeah, exactly. I like the cards to show themselves to me instead of for me to like pick the cards. Sometimes though, if there is a card that's pointing out to me, so that's what I mean by it's very, very like intuitive. I'm very like just allowing sort of the consciousness to like flow through. I might be shuffling and then put the deck down and reading what's in front of me from what's jumped out, and then the card on top might catch my eye. If I then start like this has happened a few times with my most recent readings, where I'll like be just pulling the cards off and they're all just answering the question, and I'm like, okay, that's how spirit wanted me to read. So it's kind of like just very just in the flow, like I just go with what is given to me, what spirit also allows me to see, because sometimes people ask questions and I'm not allowed to tell them the answer. Like I'm not allowed to say. I will literally feel like a lump in my throat and I can't say, or I can't type, or like it just won't come down clearly at all. It'll be like just blank in my mind's eye, and I'm like, that means I'm not meant to answer that question. Because yes, that's how I read. But at the same time as well, it's like my guides are here, my ascended ancestors are here, my spirits are with me, protecting me from anything that might be a bit like, don't tune into that question. Don't ask, don't tell. But generally, I'll just let the cards show themselves to me. That's how I like to read. And I like to just look at the images and see what my third eye is drawn to, see what my heart is drawn to, see what is like popping out to me, how I'm interpreting it. Because you might get some cards that are like super traditional, like for example, this card, right, Justice, which on like the Rider-Waite deck is, I can't even imagine how that looks now, the Justice card, to be honest. I haven't used like a Rider-Waite deck for so long, but you would see Justice and you would think, okay, that's about just like someone being served justice, or it's about like the court system, or it's about something else, and In this, I'm seeing like the Libra symbol here. I'm seeing these scales with like air bubbles. I'm seeing these peacocks. I'm seeing these runes, and I'm looking at the images and I'm saying, how am I being guided by spirit now to answer whatever this card is showing me? Yeah, there are the traditional meanings, but there's also like so much added meaning sometimes. So it really just depends. And readers have so many different styles of readings, which is what I love about it. And there's just so many perspectives on all of it, which is why I love this world so much. Thank you for answering that question. Okay, so for me, in the spirit of Once Upon a Time, I feel a lot like I just I can't get past seeing myself as the villain, and I know that I need to forgive myself for things that I've done in the past, and just let go of them. But I feel like I don't want, not that I don't want to do that, but I'm not doing that because I genuinely just think, actually, I don't really deserve it, and I don't really deserve a happy ending. And I know that it's very like
in the context of once upon a time, even in the language that I'm using. But I think it really has it, that does kind of, that show really crystallizes what I'm feeling, in that it's like this, no matter what you do and no matter how much you try, you are good, and you kind of try to atone for what you've done, you never really can, because you're never going to be able to fix what you've done to people. And I know that it's not everybody has to like you or forgive you, and you have to like and forgive yourself to be able to move on, but I'm struggling a bit with that. And then therefore I think that this plays out in maybe that I just don't feel like I deserve having like good things, or romantic love, that kind of thing in my life. So
okay, wow, that is a lot, Natalie, but thank you for sharing.
It's
yeah, no, it's like, I mean, wow, that is heavy. And you're right.
Straight in there with the heavy question.
No, it's okay though. Let me just grab a candle, because mine's about to go out. So I hear you, because I feel like you're not alone in that. We've as a collective, we've just built up these like crazy narratives that are not ours at all to hold. We hold space for so much negativity rather than positivity in our lives, because we feel like we don't deserve it. And then it's like, the more that you've allowed this narrative to grow, the harder it is to let go of. But
yeah,
I feel like, just intuitively, the only thing that I can offer you with that right now, before we do the cards, is that you've oh my god, AA meetings, but you've already taken the first step. Like, you're aware of it, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
To be aware of that is powerful in itself. So you've already taken the first step. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. But I feel like there's going to be a message here of like, you're not giving yourself enough credit for the work that you've already done. But let's see what they say. But thank you for sharing that. So let me just 1 second.
Listeners, I like to get heavy.
1 moment. Where is it? I'm looking for my thing to clear the deck from Ruth. Okay, I'm just going to use the bell. Sorry, it might be a bit annoying for disconnect from Ruth.
Ooh.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so align me with Natalie's higher self, please, Spirit, for the benefit of the highest good. Keep the messages pure. Divine progression. Okay, so do you want, I'm just thinking about how to ask. Do you want, like, tell me what you want.
Oh, I don't know. What do I want?
Because I can do like a not a whole Celtic cross, but like Celtic cross vibes, where it's like what is at the like center, what's crossing you, what's similar to Ruth, like your conscious efforts, and like, and then we can look at
I'm not being very helpful here at all. What do you want? I don't know.
It's okay, because I'm just trying to think of like the best way to sort of create the spread for, like, what the wisdom that you need for this particular situation, for this issue. I feel like this is a very like mental and emotional issue. It's spiritual as well. But it's more like rooted in like emotions and mental.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the flow again. I think the first question that I'm going to ask is like how you can nurture your emotions to health, or like how you can nurture your emotions to I'm going to ask, okay, I'm going to do what, through what you've shared, what you need to heal emotionally, how to nurture your emotional body. And then I'll do what you need to heal. Okay, let's start with what you need to heal through her emotions. What does Natalie need to heal with her emotions? Wow. Okay, did you see that?
Yeah.
Did anyone see that?
Yeah.
Zoop.
Wow.
For the record, the card flew out of the deck.
Literally, like, flew out.
Shot out.
Flew out. How interesting. This is the same card that ended off the blood moon reading. This is the Lord of Alchemy. This is a major arcana card. And I literally just said, like, I feel like this reading is going to be telling you, like, why are you not looking at all the work you've done so far? And it's almost as if, like, the alchemy and the change and the transformation that you have created, like, it's just not good enough for you. So why it's like, I'm getting this, like, I don't know if it's because you just said it or if I'm like genuinely like being guided to this, but it's almost like you're not being present with your growth. You're not being present with the alchemy that's taking place in your life, or the change or the transformation that you've come through, or like you're not allowing yourself to see it because you're waiting for the reward to come from outside. Like you're waiting for like the approval to come from outside and like to be seen. Like someone can say to you, like, you've grown so much, whereas like you don't need that to have done it. You just need to know it. This is in the Rider Waite card. This is the card of temperance. So I feel like, right, this is where I start pulling more cards, because how can you find like temperance and balance in your life, like emotionally, physically, spiritually, to see yourself? This is okay. I feel like this reading is going to be about being seen. Is that resonating?
Yeah, it is, but it's more. Yeah, I think it's definitely more like being me, seeing myself, as opposed, because the people that I have in my life now, I know they see me.
So you need to see yourself.
Yeah, or I guess it's like, I don't know whether I need, or I think actually what resonates more is the reverse of that. I feel like I need the people in my life to actually see me for what I am and what I see myself as, in terms of like, I feel like I need people around me to see me for like, this is going to sound super strong, but for like being a monster, as opposed to like, oh no, I need to see myself through their eyes. I'm like, no, you're all wrong.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, so how does Natalie physically, what can Natalie physically and practically do to release this false narrative of herself? Thank you. The Empress. Wow.
There
wow.
she is.
Here she is. Here she is. Wow. Oh my gosh. So the Empress isn't a monster. Everything that you just said, like, it's not to take away from your feelings, because those are your feelings. Like, yeah, that's your truth at the moment, is this, right? But this card is here, like, hello, this, where is that coming from? And in a way, I feel like this can't have been something that okay, practically and physically, what you can do to release this false narrative, okay, is make more time to enjoy yourself. Like, I don't mean enjoy yourself out in the streets, like going out, partying and adventure. I mean, like, actually enjoying yourself, actually enjoying your home, as in the body that you're in, enjoying the things that people surround you, that the people that surround you, why they surround you, the things that they enjoy about you, allowing yourself to enjoy that about yourself. Like, make yourself laugh, make yourself like really nice, beautiful experiences around you. Like, even if it means just like spending some time like sitting down, like really meticulously like doing your makeup, putting some oil on your body, like doing your hair, just creating like a very luxurious, pleasurable experience for yourself to just enjoy all aspects of yourself, even the ugly parts, like marrying that to the beauty of who you are. I think that there's like practical exercises that you can do to enjoy yourself, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, that will help you to release these false narratives. Same as what I said to Ruth, I feel like, but obviously with different meaning, because hers was more like spiritual and this is definitely like a physical breakthrough. I feel like this there's like opportunity for there's opportunity for like physical release here. I feel like actually like letting go of things that whenever this idea was like born in your life, if you can like trace if you can do the work to try and sort of find that root, or like find that place where this all began.
Yeah. And
things that you might still like physically have around you, because I feel like the Empress is a very like tangible energy. It's very like earth, it's very here, foundations, like physical stuff, like material as well. If there's anything around you that is actually like, what's the word, like reminding you of that, you need to chuck it out. Like, you need to get rid of it. Clothes, objects, people, even, like, you might need to really like do the work to just cut it out of your life, because holding on to those things, they're adding to you. If you're seeing them, they're still like maybe in the corner of your eye, or you're wearing them, it's still like adding to the programming of this narrative that is not yours. Like, this is not in alignment with your higher self. And like, that's where the alchemy, that's why the alchemy card is here, because I feel like you need to hold space for a real transition to take place. Like, this is almost like, it's a bit drastic, this energy. It's a bit like dramatic. I mean, like I see like big change coming. But let's see what else has to say. So that was your physical. Let's see about how can Natalie like emotionally release this? Thank you. Wow. Okay, well, yeah. So the Four of Cups is the Lord of mixed happiness here. This is like it just feels like everything you said, like emotionally, you may or may not be aware of like how much opportunity you're missing with being present with your own growth, by holding on to this and like keeping this past. It's like, okay, this is what's just coming in, making the past your present instead of like, so you're making the past your present, and yeah, and therefore just not missing the opportunity to be actually present with the growth that is taking place. Like I said, this reading is like almost you're just not giving yourself enough credit, and just this idea the truth is that you do deserve the happiness that you're creating, and the truth is that you do deserve the joy and the pleasurable experiences, and you deserve the community that's gathering around you. You deserve the love that's gathering around you. You deserve the love that's already in your life. That's the truth. So this past that you are making your present on a emotional and conscious level, and the truth that you believe oh my God, Nats, this is a bit I would rather do this with you personally.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because there's just some stuff coming through that I don't feel comfortable sharing on the podcast.
That's fine.
Okay. But what I can tell you is that the High Priestess is here on the top of the card. So I feel like what I said at the beginning, intuitively, you know that it can't be part of you anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like the fact that you're already aware of it is good. And you're obviously, I feel like in the time that I've known you, like you've just been nothing but a beautiful person, and like I feel like the spirits around you are calling you into like a more elevated perspective of yourself. But it's just about I just there's more. I don't feel. I'm sorry.
No, oh my God, don't be sorry.
But we can do this like personally when you're free.
Yeah. I am free. I think all this week. I'll message you.
Yeah, message me. I can ask something else, like if you wanted to get a reading for
we could just do a general.
Yeah, just for the sake of the podcast.
Yeah. Trust me to really want to go there. I'm like, this is so difficult of me. Just like, I don't know what it is about this podcast that makes me feel more like accountable, if that makes sense. I feel a little like, and not that you have to carry on, but there's just like, obviously when we do things personally, it's like, oh, let's just do a general thing. No one ever wants to say specifically, or I say no one, like I don't specifically ever want to be like, this is how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about. It's weird.
It's the space maybe that's just making it, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. But we'll do that one. We'll spend time with that one just alone with no one else listening. Okay, so let me do a general for you, please. Spirit, can you realign me? Let me clear. Hold on. Okay, Spirit, can you realign me, please, to Natalie's higher self? Thank you. Okay. Let's do Mercury retrograde one for you because you're a Virgo.
Sure am. Virgo's in the house.
So what can this Mercury retrograde, thank you, teach Natalie? Okay. What pattern does Natalie need to be aware of this cycle of retrograde? Thank you. Okay, wow. Oh my gosh, this card I feel like always comes out when you're around. Okay, and how can she integrate the wisdom of Mercury retrograde on a physical level? Thank you. Yeah. How can she integrate the wisdom of Mercury retrograde on an emotional level? You seeing this? Is it? You seeing it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And how can she integrate the wisdom of Mercury retrograde on a spiritual level, please? Sorry, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so what Mercury retrograde wants to teach you this time around, this cycle, this particular transit. And this is really interesting because I'll send them to you, but there are like so many astrologers at the moment who are like talking about the different aspects and the different planetary alignments. And this particular cosmic alignment in this month of June, they're all basically saying there's like huge potential for chaotic energy to blossom, but that's not anything to be afraid of. Actually, if we are able to harness it and just really, really flow with the energy, we can move forward in really powerful ways that we may not have expected. And that is your card here. To say all that, to say this, the card that is Mercury retrograde is going to teach you is the 8 of Wands, the Lord of Swiftness. So this is an omen of moving forward. Like, yeah, this is an omen of just like being shot forward. I always like to tell people when this card comes out, like, if you feel like your arrow has been pulled back, Spirit just let go of the arrow and it's time to go off, like, and just be shot forward into new beginnings, new perspectives, new passions can be ignited with this card as well, like passions for new experiences, new people even. So that's a really, really positive card. And I feel like there's something about the energy of this card and the image in it that feels like very underground, almost as if like where the arrow is going is from underground to above the ground, which makes me feel really positive for you. So that's like your general lesson, general wisdom about this Mercury retrograde in Gemini. And then interestingly enough, for oh my god, I forgot what the question was for this one. Shit, I can't remember. I know what the last ones are. This one, general. Do you remember?
What was the first question?
The first question was, what does this retrograde need to teach us? Patterns. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Patterns and cycles.
I got excited because the card that came out was Gemini's card, the Lovers. And I remember saying, like, this card comes out when you're around.
It does.
So, and I feel like most times you've heard me speak about this card, even though it can be about physical union and like the physical partnership between two people, I love to just relate it back to like higher self and the connection between you and your higher self. And I feel like for you in particular, this is about that. What I said in the reading before, like enjoying yourself and like coming to this lover's energy within yourself. And I feel like this message has come up with me when you've been around a few times. So that pattern, those messages, even like the questions that you've asked me, those are the patterns that are coming up. And you have this incredible cosmic opportunity to actually face them and integrate integrate the wisdom, integrate the love that you are calling in, like actually allow yourself to be open to receive it, enjoy it. Really, really interesting. Yeah. So the shadow side of the Lovers is the Devil. And in the background of this card, the Devil is here, just sort of like keeping. And that card is coming up for you as well, but I'll get there when I get there. So the pattern that's coming up, one of the patterns that are coming up for you potentially are about self-love, but to an elevated level, like a higher level of self-love, like real union between you and your higher self, like how you can embody your higher self, how you view yourself, right? Then also we have the Two of Swords. So this is the card, the Lord of Peace. Patterns coming up potentially about where you may be sacrificing your peace for something, where you choose. This card to me is about choice as well, like where you choose to either pick your sword up or lay it down. In other words, like choosing your battles wisely. And pattern also coming up for you with that card. What's costing you your peace as well? And what can you do to create cycles of peace in your life? So when this pattern comes around to teach you something of like what's costing you your peace, and it's like, okay, for the next cycle, that peace will already be there. So like, how can I keep generating cycles of peace from now? Like with this lesson, how can I generate more cycles of peace to come so that I don't have to deal with this lesson again? And then also here you have the Hanged Man. So I love this card on this one. It's such a pretty imagery. So yeah. So in terms of patterns, I feel like it's about being present, how present you're being with that one. So that could be about, yeah, similar message to the Lovers in this case, like not so much like the traditional meaning of the Hanged Man, but like more related to like alignment, inner alignment, and how you can alignment. I'll speak more about that with you another time, that particular card. But yeah, so then we have your physical. What can you like physically do to receive the wisdom and things like that? And the Devil is here. So so it's so interesting that you have both aspects of I don't want to say spirituality, but you have both aspects of like both sides of the coin here. You have the Lovers in your patterns, and then it's like, what can you physically do to integrate that wisdom? And the Devil is here, which is the shadow aspect of the Lovers, right? Okay. So this to me today and for you, this is about shadow work. Again, like just confronting your demons like head on, allowing it to get real nasty, real ugly, and then really realizing and understanding and awakening the power within yourself to transmute that shadow and integrate it to your light, and then allow yourself to move forward past this retrograde with so much more integrity within yourself and so much more authenticity and just becoming a more authentic version of yourself. I also feel like you know, where I said like enjoy yourself about the lovers, I feel like this is asking you to connect to like a really primal, raw, like freaky side of yourself. I honestly,
Ruth is like yeah.
Yeah, almost like how, if maybe that's how you transmute those monsters and those demons, Nats, like by turning them into like freaky, primal, raw, like butt naked aspects of you and just getting down and dirty. Maybe that's how you allow yourself to heal through, you know, just because like, I don't know, Ruth, maybe like cut this bit out, but like what we were saying before, if you maybe like in a, because I'm talking about like in a sexual primal way, like become that monster, like allow yourself to become that monster, explore shadow work, like through, if your shadow work is attached to sexuality, and if your shadows are like attached to sexuality, then just like allowing yourself to really explore that, like really, really deeply explore that. I think that's something you can physically do to like bring yourself to a lot of healing and transformation. There's this snake imagery here, which is making me think about Kundalini as well. So maybe if there's like Kundalini yoga that you can do, or even like Tantra, or like breathing techniques around Tantra, around Kundalini that can support you through your shadow work, I think that will be really key to you. And I think that's what's going to bring you into like this divine union with your higher self as well. Like allowing yourself to be this devil first, be the shadow before you become the light side, right? And we all have to do that shadow work. We all have to do it. Otherwise you're not truly on about this life. Like you can't just spiritually bypass anything, because it comes back to get you. So you can't like spiritually bypass. If you want to be in true, authentic alignment with your higher self and embodied version of your higher self, shadow work is a huge part of that. And it's nasty and it's ugly and there's tears and there's just days where you might not even like fucking shower, but it's like hard, but it's so necessary and it's so important. And one day, I mean, personally speaking anyway, you're able to turn around and say, I'm so glad that I did that. I'm so glad that I held space for myself to do that. And you have to almost like, sometimes you have to do the shadow work daily, because there is just so much on in our world that is like constantly triggering shadows and constantly triggering people. Sometimes you have to do the shadow work daily. But it's just the beauty of it is knowing that you're going to integrate the lesson, right? So that's something you can physically do. I feel like there's this sexual Kundalini energy coming from it. So I feel like there's some physical stuff that you can physically do there with that. Okay.
So delicately put. I love it.
And then emotionally, and I love this card so much, is the Father of Swords in the South, King of Swords, represented by the sun god Ra. Okay. So emotionally as well as physically, I think sun medicine, like just really, if you've ever like gone outside and like been in the sun and it's just like activated something in you and made you cry. I don't know if that's ever happened. That's just happens to me sometimes a lot, but that can be really healing. So I feel like just because Ra is here, I feel like there's a message that you need to like get aligned with some sun medicine. Also emotionally, this is about having boundaries and being very clear to the point where it's almost like brutal, like brutally honest. This is about having like brutally honest conversations with yourself, part of the shadow work too, to support your emotional body. This is about making space in the mind, so like not allowing the mind to corrupt your emotion. This is about clear, like having space. So like if you meditate, like getting to a point where your mind is clear, and then just asking your emotions to surface so that you can feel them. Because sometimes when you are like, okay, I need to sit and be present with my emotions, and everyone's like, oh, so cute, I'll run a bath and just like be present with my emotions. And it's like your mind is involved. Your mind is still part of that process, saying like, don't feel this because it's gonna hurt. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like this card is saying, aligned with sun medicine, for just saying that, just for the reason because Ra is there, and that's such a powerful god to like show up in this reading. Clearing space in your mind, using that sword to clear space in your mind, and then just asking your emotional body surface, and then feeling whatever is there with that, without your mind stopping it, and without your mind like blocking it. It's not usual that I would say this about the King of Swords, but this is actually a card of surrender in this particular situation. But it has to start by allowing your mind to have an open space for you to do that. Okay. And then for the spiritual integration, you have the 5 of Wands, which is about conflict. So immediately I feel like this is saying, just allow it when there are moments of inner conflict still. Like even after all the work that this Mercury retrograde will present you with the opportunity to do. And I do feel like this particular cycle can serve you really well, because I'm seeing the Magician on top of the deck here, right? So that's kind of, to me, is saying like that's where the completion is when you come through all of this, the Magician, right? But even after that, even when you are like in your Magician vibe, there still might be moments of inner conflict. Don't let that throw you off the path. Like, try not to let that, the spirit of conflict, bring you, turn you around on your path, or like distract you. Yeah, don't, that's the word. Don't let the spirit of conflict become its own demon and then distract you from all the work that you will potentially be doing through this cycle of retrograde. You know, and it's so interesting. What was it? Which card was it? 2 of Swords. Yeah. Whew. Be present with this, like, as much as you can. This conflict, it's what's taking away from your peace, essentially. So knowing when to pick up, it's almost like I'm seeing like a physical battle in my mind's eye right now, like knowing when to pick up your sword to slay your demons, knowing when to put your sword down and say, I surrender. Right? That's the conflict. That's the conflict that's present with this reading, but it's also at that point, as how to integrate spiritually, is just like when those moments happen, and like when you feel like your mind is being corrupted, whatever, that doesn't mean you're not it does not mean you're suddenly very disconnected from your higher self, because your higher self is always connected to you, right? That's it. So girl, I hope that that served you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I loved that.
For doing that.
Yeah. And I loved your message, Natalie. I'm not gonna lie, I was even thinking it. But I'm a sick fuck, aren't I? So I was thinking, I wonder if I genuinely was thinking, I wonder if masturbation could help. And then Sim said that, and I was like, I'm not crazy.
You're not a sick fuck. No, I think there's definitely a lot of release in that. What I was thinking was like, wow, I can go and buy a load of new toys. fun things.
That was really, really, really good. I'm actually not that we've had readings before, but maybe naively I thought because we were doing it on the podcast it would feel different, but that was like so raw and so fun.
It's like, yeah,
so naive. I was like, it'll, just because we're doing it on the podcast it'll be different, it'll be like so lighthearted, and I was like, no, I'm crying.
Girl, I'm about to smoke like 5 cigarettes back to back. Like,
oh no.
Look what we're doing.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. You know what? It's been such a while since I've read in this way.
Yeah.
That, and because I've done readings with you both before, I'm so much more connected to your energies. So like, I really feel it. Yeah, I really feel it. So. And it's been such a while that
you like afterwards, like even
I'm
like
not
the
joking.
next
like
day.
I have to smoke so that I can come back to earth, because like right now I'm like up here, so it's like it's intense, you know. And sometimes, especially when it's like back to back, sometimes I'm like but it's all good, and I'm really glad that they served you as best as they could, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a conduit for like the wisdom and the healing. So thank you for having me. But definitely those messages are really powerful. Actually, I wasn't expecting that either.
I was not.
I think that's definitely caught us all off guard. Like, whoa, what is happening? That's Mercury.
I was expecting it to be super lighthearted, like lots of like 8s and lots of 8 cards, lots of like sun, lots of lovers, lots of magician, fool. Like no, Mercury retrograde was like
I don't think so.
It's
clear communication. We're gonna give you some clear fucking communication.
Just like when I said, hey Sim, so what does it feel like when you know, how do you know you're getting dragged? This is it.
This is it. This is when you know you're getting dragged. But my honor, my pleasure, and thank you both for being so open to receiving as well.
Thank you for doing this. And of course, we'll put all of Sim's details in the bio, so you can follow her on Instagram, and we'll put her website as well if you want to book a reading. Highly recommend it.
Recommend it. And for any ceremonies that happen in the future, again, really recommend joining those spaces. Yoga,
yoga for sure, and all the
your body
alchemy you do as well. So I've got on Sim's peace oil right now. I love it. Nice. It's actually like replaced perfume for me. Perfume smells so synthetic now. I just want to wear the oil.
I love that. That is actually one of my favorite oils, like smell wise.
It's gorgeous.
What's the scent profile?
You know, I don't know anything.
I don't even know if
I'm like it smells nice.
Share like what goes into it, because
I don't think you should.
These recipes have literally been handed down through like generations and generations of witches. So I don't even know if I can like say.
Don't keep it to yourself.
Yeah, but it smells good.
It smells good. Yeah.
And also, just if you like watching relaxing content, I think watching the when you create things on your Mystic Bones Instagram account, it's just really nice watching those videos. It's just quite calming and nice and very satisfying. So
thank you
for everybody.
So much. You two are so real. I love you girls.
This was amazing.
Right. Well, we will let you go and come back down to earth.
Yes.
Deep breaths after that.
Thank you both so much. And I will I'll speak to you both soon.
Yay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Can't wait to listen to this. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Wow.
Yeah. Listeners, we have Brady's back. Like, what have you guys been up to in this room?
What the hell happened here, Mom? What happened?
You weren't expecting like that intensity at all. I thank you so much, Sim, for doing that. That was so raw.
It was.
That was the Friday Night Raw.
We expected it, I think, to maybe just be a little bit more lighthearted. and maybe more general. But every once in a while on the podcast, we do have quite a deep session.
We love a deep chat.
Yeah, a deep and meaningful.
One of us cries.
One of us cries. One of us really goes in and bears all. This time it was both of us. So
yeah, I think that's what the dynamic difference was.
And have I been watching too much Once Upon a Time? And did that influence my choices? Sure, but you know, the everything still stands. I mean, it's how I feel, so
that was I'm looking forward to listen back to it, but I'm also super nervous just because I struggle with vulnerability. Yeah. But you know.
Anyway, so we're gonna close it out by finding out which. So this makes it. So when I say it out loud, it makes it sound so trivial, and we're not taking it away from what's just happened. I think that we're all just trying to find a way to bring ourselves back down and ground ourselves. So the way that
I think it sounds trivial. I just think this is so ridiculously us that I'm laughing. Like, of course, this is how we're ending the
podcast. We have found a Buzzfeed quiz that is going to tell us, and we'll, you know what, because we're kind, we'll post it maybe, or we'll let you know how to find it. You know, just fucking Google it, whatever. We are going to find out which Once Upon a Time character we are by making a load of decisions in a BuzzFeed quiz.
Of
course we are.
Okay, who do you think you're going to get?
Like lived and died by a BuzzFeed quiz.
I still wait. If I'm really sad and I can't sleep, I still do BuzzFeed quizzes, especially like dessert ones.
Years.
I've done one. I definitely did some in May. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like I don't know.
That's a barometer for how your month's going. How many BuzzFeed quizzes have I done?
No, I don't do it like that regularly, but like it just shows that I haven't maybe been sleeping, or I'm feeling like a bit like sad. It's like a little like bleh thing to do.
Can I just say that this particular one was posted on December the 20th, 2020, which is not that long ago, considering as though this show ended like
oh my god, shout out to you, Bailey Scarborough, who ended last year by making a BuzzFeed Once Upon a Time quiz. Wow.
Thank you, and God bless. Right, okay. Let's get started.
Okay, the first question. It's a Saturday night and you have nothing planned. What are you doing?
We're not going to read out in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Like, obviously, it could be any night and you've got nothing planned. I'm doing a Zoom quiz with people I don't enjoy speaking to in real life, but somehow I'm doing something virtually with them. That never happened.
Okay, I think I know what I'm doing.
Right. Okay, so what are the answers?
I don't think we should read out all the answers. I think we should just read out the ones we're going to pick, or we'll be here till.
Okay, fine. God.
Do you want the listeners to play along?
I already know which one you're doing.
Which one? I want you to guess.
Okay, hold on.
Volunteering at an animal shelter on a Friday night. Is that an option? They're closed.
On a Saturday night? I don't even think so.
They're closed.
Oh wait,
that's
actually,
so dumb. Are they 24/7? I think I know what I'm doing.
Oh my god.
There's 3 or 4 that I could be doing, but I'm most likely, I think I'm going to have to side with doing nothing except staring at a wall and singing along to a bop with, it doesn't say it, but with a glass of whiskey in my hand. Wow, seek help.
Right, I'm going to do playing with my dog or playing video games, but that's primarily because I'm not going to be playing with my dog, even though I have one. Sorry, Mango. I'm probably going to be on my phone playing games, so it's not quite video. But you know what I mean?
I really thought that was about Mango, but it's not. It's about Candy Crush or something.
Yeah. It's about words with friends. Okay.
2 of your best friends are fighting. What are you doing about it?
God, my only 2 friends. God.
That's why I'm like, this is too intense for me.
Yeah.
There's one that says, I'm the one antagonizing whoever is opposite the person I stand with. You're behind one of your best friends jeering at the other one.
I'm out.
It depends what the fight's about. I mean, it could be something really serious, like did somebody like sleep with somebody's significant other?
Yeah.
Or is it something stupid like you stole my pen? I don't know. I haven't had best friends fight since secondary school, as you can tell by my example, the second example.
Yeah, I don't have enough friends that know each other that would fight.
No, I'm going to try and make the common ground. I can't be asked with the drama. I'm definitely the one in between the common ground. I'm saying that one. Yeah, what are you going with?
I'm at common ground as well.
Yeah, because it's like you don't want your best friends fighting, even though really you should mind your business. It's too close to home. What is your fashion style? Something comfortable with a bit of my unique style.
Right. So
I am currently wearing sweaters.
Funky.
I'm wearing
definitely not super chic with comfort wrapped in the deal.
Grungy. I'm kind of a bad boy, bad girl, bad person.
Oh, shut up.
To hell.
Brittany, is that what you're called? Bethany? Just Bailey. Fucking hell.
Brittany Bethany Bailey. Wow.
Usually comfortable.
I'm gonna go with the first one, something comfortable with a bit of my unique style.
I don't want to say this
is circumstantial. It is whatever is needed. I'm gonna go with the answer. My fashion sense is circumstantial, whatever is needed to get the job done. What are you going with?
Right, so I'm between usually comfortable and appropriate, whatever that means, but super glam if I need to. But I'm never really super glam.
Yes,
so
you
I
are.
think that I'm.
Yes, you are. Don't lie. Yes, you are. Sometimes you go from 0 to 199.
Yeah.
You better click that.
Fine.
What is the quality you look for the most in a person? Potential. Go to hell.
No, I don't. Yeah. But kindness and compassion towards others, are they not the same thing?
No.
Right. Okay.
Sorry. I don't think so.
Okay. It's kindness.
Who wants to be friends with people who are... Kindness is the most obvious one. You just want to be around.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
No, I just mean like, why are you even bothering me with these other answers when you've already given me my answer straight away? Like, do I have to read this? Why would I value determination over kindness? I love determination, but are you going to treat me like ass? Be determined while you do it? No.
And I don't want somebody that's super vulnerable but very unkind.
That is a lethal combination. And imagine someone who's super unkind but has compassion. You'd be like, why are you being compassionate to everyone else but me? Literally.
Also, somebody that's super honest but also unkind. Terrible.
That might be me. Okay, I'm gonna go kindness.
Yeah, it's kindness. It's kindness for me.
Okay, you are choosing an extracurricular. Okay, Brittany, relax. What do you pick? I'm obviously not swimming. I'm not playing a strategic game.
I love strategic games. I'll probably be that one. But also random acts of kindness club. I know I said I valued kindness.
But not that much, honey.
I'm like, I'd love to be a person that was in that club, but I'd probably be doing it more for show than... Look, if you have to be in a club to do that, no, go to hell. You should just do it anyway.
No, it's a good idea. Because it's like you meet up every Friday and you just do a nice thing. It's cute.
So once upon a time, when many moons ago, me and some work colleagues, instead of doing work, decided that we would get we got like this stamp from the stationery store next door, you know, the ones where you can like put the letters in or the numbers in to make it your own. And we got the letters that we made out on it were smile, you're it. And then we got loads of like luggage.
Why is this ringing a bell? Did you tell me this before?
I must have done. And then we've like stamped it on one side, and then on the other side we'd write something, you know, nice. Like, you know, that thing, like it's got being popular now. I think it's called like something of strangers. like words from strangers or something about strangers. I can't remember what it is.
That is nice, but I would be picky because if I turn mine around and it says something, I'd be like, this doesn't relate to me. I feel used.
To make somebody else feel good.
Well, it depends what it says. Like, are they giving me a message that says I want to give an example of what I'd like, and then I'm like, no, it shows I'm a fucked up person. I'm gonna go with oh
wait, shit, aren't we?
I kind of want to go with the student council. Debate team is lit.
Yeah, you'd be on the student council for sure. I feel like I'd want.
I did it the last time I had
strategic games because I like to play games. No, I don't. But I
mean, I was in the chess club in primary school, but I didn't mean to join it. It's just I accidentally joined it, and I was like, "What?" They taught me how to play chess. I was like, "This is so good."
Next question. Firstly, these are the most ridiculous dream jobs. Secondly, there's a typo in one of them. Do you want to be a move producer?
Maybe they mean a choreographer.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, then just say it. Just say it, Bailey. CEO of what? Like, you can't just throw out CEO of different companies.
CEO is never going to be my dream job.
Not at all. I would never want to be. I don't think I want to be any of these people.
What? You wouldn't want to be a pro sports player?
No, that's not my.
You wouldn't want to be a
job.
professional fencer, Natalie. I feel like you would love that. You would love that.
I feel triggered because you well know about my dalliance with a professional fencer.
I genuinely forgot. In my mind, I thought you just liked people.
You thought that I was a professional.
No. I thought you just liked. Oh, so it's that you were attracted to. I've rewritten a memory. Are you sure you've never wanted to fence with someone?
Who wouldn't want to fence? But then I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of fencing lessons at school.
I've never fenced ever.
But I just
It looks hard. But yeah, fuck fences. We don't fuck with
it's really weird. I not so long ago had a dream about the fencer.
I can't trust my dreams lately, so I would advise you not to trust yours.
Well, what am I going to do? Follow my dreams?
Okay, honey, we haven't watched that much Once Upon a Time. Okay? I'll tell you my embarrassing dream if you tell me your fencer dream. Is it podcast appropriate?
It was a sex dream.
Same. I had a sex dream about someone from literally school yesterday. From like sixth form.
But were you this
age
or
our age that we are now?
Yeah, right. Okay.
It was like, the beginning of a porno with the bad acting, and he was like, what did you think was gonna happen? And I was like, woke up and I was like, I felt embarrassed. Like, I hope no one else heard that. Like, what the hell was that? What did you think was gonna happen?
Although I do feel like that is a situation you would get yourself into, and you're like, what? Oh, okay. I didn't think we were having sex, but sure.
Story of my life. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, no, I really didn't want this to happen. And like, let me go.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna go with I want to go with FBI agent. But I know that's problematic because the FBI killed Martin Luther King. So I don't know if that's.
I'm gonna go with author, like the author of
Once Upon a Time. Author is a great job.
Yeah, well,
I'm stuck between. I really want to be like an Olympian, but then I also want to be Annalise Keating, like lawyer/college professor. But who wouldn't want to? I don't want to be a Broadway star. It screams drug problem to me. I don't know anybody like that. I'm going to go with move producer. I'd love to produce a move.
Oh, okay.
The next one is the easiest.
I'm stuck between two.
The beach makes me feel so nervous. Okay, the next question for the listeners is choose a nature aesthetic. I'm gonna go with the woods, not the black and white woods.
It's the woods for me. The nice dappled light woods, not the fucking peeling over black and white tree that looks like something sinister's happening. It would have been the beach, but that particular beach and that
beach
like
is
bougie
horrible.
Yacht or whatever it is. It's not a yacht,
it's giving
it just makes like
murdered by a rich man and thrown overboard. No, thank you. It's very European. I'm not doing it.
So it's definitely the woods for me as well.
Those flowers look like they literally grow locally around where I live, so they feel safe, but I'm still going to go with the woods. The mountains look gorgeous.
I did think about the mountains, but I just think there's something that is too
difficult.
No, like zoomed out. I don't know what.
No, it's like,
too much of a landscape shot. Whereas that shot of the woods just feels like I can feel myself safe there, and I can feel myself happy there. Because I've been there before,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the woods.
And it feels like what my sanctuary has felt like before in my meditations that Sim has led us through in her full moon ceremony. Shout out to
my gosh. I did my honestly, those full moon ceremonies are so good. I've never had a guided meditation like that, where I've when you meet your higher self, you literally, I'd never personally envisaged or been able to see myself as anything more than who I am. So it was lit. I did one by myself for the first time the last full moon, and the person who I met was like, anyway, it doesn't matter. They were cool, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the next question is choose a snack. An apple, leftover pizza. Oh, why am I doing it? It's because it's food and I love food. I'm just
wait till you get to the bottom.
Oh, I am the snack. I'd rather eat a banana than myself. I'm gonna go with popcorn.
Oh, that's a good choice, but I think I'm gonna go with tea and cookies. Although leftover pizza also sounded good.
I mean, I'm lying because if somebody gave me leftover pizza at any point in the day, even if I was full, I'm going to eat it. So that was a lie. But I'm in the mood for some popcorn. Okay, what is your favorite subject? Oh, I'm going to go. Currently, I'm really feeling like this is going to sound so silly. My A-level business studies is finally coming. Honestly, if you're in school, take business studies. It's actually extremely useful.
I mean, mine's English. Oh my God.
So, lunch.
If I am Henry.
You are Henry.
No, if I've only just realised what's happening here.
No shade to Henry.
Fuck. I don't want to be Henry. Okay.
I'm going to go. Annoying. My favourite subject is lunch, but also could be English.
Oh, wait, lunch. I didn't realise that was one.
I'm going to go lunch.
Yeah, well, I did English, and now I'm going to be Henry. Ugh.
If you were stranded on a deserted island, what would you take? Why would you take your makeup bag to a deserted island? First of all, I'm naturally gorgeous, so sucks to be you. I'm going to take a weapon.
Oh, that was dark. Okay.
Sorry, it's the one that jumped out to me. But my phone would probably be more useful, but can I charge it? Probably not. Oh, you can take a boat. Oh, I'm not sailing off.
Get a boat. But then also it's like, but is the boat worse than being in the... Yeah.
Imagine getting stranded at sea.
Firstly, I don't know how to do anything with a boat.
I'm taking a weapon.
Oh my!
I'm taking food. Oh, is this the last question? No!
Who did you get?
No, this is worse than Henry. Maybe.
Who?
Belle. You are Belle. You see the best in everyone. Will sacrifice yourself for the greater good and always want peace for everybody.
As much as I slag Belle off, she is basically the backbone of 3 seasons of Once Upon a Time.
I can't
She is.
I do not want to be with Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, not even as a human with the gold teeth.
I want Hook.
Okay, but if you got,
but I also don't want to be Emma.
Out. Yeah. Wow. Guess who I got? Zelina.
Oh no, I like Zelina.
It says you are Zelina. You are a mean, green, and a sass machine. That doesn't make sense. Oh, I put well, I shouldn't have. You are mean, green, and a sass machine. This diva needs her stage. Anyone care for a broader? I mean, yeah, maybe, but how dare you?
Isn't it funny how I was talking about how I feel like I don't know why people don't see the monster in me, and I just got Belle, who sees who sees the person behind the beast. If I was reading into things, Ruth is like, I was expecting a bigger reaction from you there. Like,
no, I think you're reading it wrong. So you think
right.
You got Belle because you need to see the person behind your beast. Whereas I
didn't think that, but yeah, sure.
Oh, I thought you got Belle because you think you're the beast. And maybe that's causing you to spend time with this beast. Like, you aren't the beast. You're actually the really sweet, lovely person. The beast is right beside you and you're choosing to spend time with them. But hey, maybe the D was good. I don't know what Rumple had going on. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? I'm sorry. This is a children's show.
It's definitely not a children's show. Put your kids to bed, guys, if they're listening. I don't know what time it is, but I don't care.
I would never let my kids listen to that. No shade, but if your kids are listening to this, you're a terrible parent.
Yeah.
No shade, but you're the worst. No, I'm joking.
But yeah.
Okay, that's why I got
you better gear up for some therapy for your kid, which we'll endorse. But we won't be liable for. This podcast did not cause your child to need therapy. The trick answer here is you did.
Also society. Always blame society.
Right, yeah, sure. But also the parents.
I can't believe I got Zelina from saying that. I'm like, how?
Do we now go back and analyze? What if I made a different choice? Who would I be?
Who would I be if I picked a different pair?
I mean, oh no. And now there's like, take this quiz and we'll match you with an underrated Disney character. This is how BuzzFeed gets you.
Yeah. And it never gives you the answers you need, one or that makes sense to you.
So it leaves you questioning things more.
Yeah. Like,
it causes more turmoil.
I can't believe Belle and Zelina are friends. Who would have thought it?
Which is funny because in the season I'm in, that's not the case.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Selena's a bad bitch, I can't lie.
No, she is. Absolutely she is.
But she's also like incredibly unhinged.
No, yeah, but she's unhinged, exactly. And it's not coming from a case of her being actually evil or wicked. She was abandoned as a child. Like, that's...
Everybody in that show was abandoned as a child. Get over it.
Sorry, not in real life. If you were actually abandoned as a child, I'm sorry. I'm just talking about this. Oh my God.
I think, imagine if you got the script. Dude, they can't take it seriously every time they're like, because that's what heroes do. They put way too much stock in this heroes villain thing. Like it's kind of almost sloppy writing that you're like, if they don't know what to say, they just say heroes do this. And you're like, so what? Why is there such a definitive line between a villain and a hero? And what makes you so goddamn sure of what side you're on? Is that just something you get to decide? Because there's going to be a lot of people that think the reverse. And like we said earlier this week, why do they assume that they are not killing people when they are chopping them down with swords? The heroes, I mean.
To the heroes.
It's ridiculous.
They did say something in season 2, something like,
you can't kill people in this world. So maybe it's like new world, new rules.
In which world?
in our world. Like, our world is a lot of things, but this is, you can't just kill people here.
Oh, so you mean like back in the Enchanted Forest, you could just kill people and it was fine?
For the greater good. Like,
right.
It was basically capital punishment. They just didn't even realise they were doing it. Chop him down.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the longest episode of all time, so I do think we should go. But once again, I just want to say a massive, massive, massive thank you to Sim, aka Mystic Bones, and we will be putting all her socials in the bio. Sorry, I'll speak normally. In the bio, so you can follow, purchase, book an appointment. Bookie, there you go.
Yeah.
Everything that you need. A one-stop shop for your spiritual needs. Honestly, like, it's definitely, I'm like was the most cynical person, and working with Sim's definitely opened me up a bit more. So I recommend it. And yeah.
And I'll second that recommendation.
You know, on amazing. YouTube, closed captions, when we sing, it just says singing or song or something like that. So funny. I know it says music.
Google does not recognize our voices as spoken or sung
sure,
words.
One time we weren't singing and it said that. I was like, okay.
Okay, thanks, Google. Go fuck yourself. No, I didn't mean it. I know you're listening.
Love you, Google.
Yeah, thank you. You're amazing. Please surface our videos in something featured. I don't know how it works. But on that note, yeah, we're going to go because we've been here for too long.
Yeah. But have a great week, you guys. And we'll see you next week for... I can't remember what we're watching.
But
I think I know what we're watching. But I think we should discuss it off air. But it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Back to the usual...
There is no usual programming. Stop lying to these people. Stop
Fine.
lying
Well,
to these
okay.
people.
In the looser sense, where we'll watch something, talk about it for 2 minutes, and then just talk about Once Upon a Time. There you go. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
And then I said to them, if you don't rewind this tape right now, I'm gonna...